Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we've got a great upper intermediate level lesson for you all about animal and human rights.
Right. So it's a very debatable topic. People want to protect animals, mistreatment of animals. And this is what we're going to talk about today, protecting animals and giving them rights. Do you think animals have rights?
Well, I think we could leave that for the end. I don't want to, influence the argument here in today's dialogue. But yeah, as you've said, I think it's very much a topic that people can go both ways on.
Mm-hmm. So why don't we listen to our dialogue as two people discuss animal rights, and let's get their opinions on things.
You should have seen the TV show that was on last night. The topic it covered was really interesting. Animal rights.
Do you really believe in that? If they're going to focus on something, they should do it on civil rights.
Yes, but we can't deny that animals are vulnerable, defenseless, and are completely at the mercy of human beings.
I understand your point, but we continue to have transgressions against human rights. If so much attention weren't devoted to the topic of animals, we would then concentrate more on saving a human being instead of protecting a koala.
You can't compare apples and oranges. I believe that both topics are important and that we can't ignore them. The mistreatment of animals can cause a great environmental imbalance. I believe that governments should prohibit activities like poaching.
Well, you are right on that point. This is the reason that I don't buy leather and I try to buy synthetic products.
At least you're doing your part. My contribution is to have a pet in the house that I treat like a member of the family.
As long as you don't treat it better than your wife, it's fine.
All right, we're back, and both of them have good points, right? In favor and against. And as you said, they also talk about human rights, which is also a very important topic. But before we discuss this topic, why don't we take a look at the language that was used now in Language Takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, so in Language Takeaway, our first word today is vulnerable.
Okay, vulnerable is a great word. It's a way to describe something. And so something is vulnerable if it can't really protect itself.
So you are in danger of being hurt.
Exactly.
Right? So you're vulnerable. Now, this isn't only used for animals, right? It can be like an army is vulnerable if they don't have strong defenses on the border or something.
Right, or my emotions. I'm feeling vulnerable because I just had a really horrible week and I'm really depressed and I'm emotionally vulnerable.
Okay, very good. So vulnerable. And they also talked about transgressions against human rights.
All right, so a transgression is a thing, it's a noun, and transgression is like doing something harmful to or
against someone
or something.
So a transgression, it's a noun. So is it doing something in a bad way? Or
exactly. It's a bad thing.
It's always negative. You can't.
Exactly.
It's not positive, right?
Right. And so in many prayers, for example, in the Christian faith, you say, Lord, forgive me for my transgressions, for having kind of crossed the line from doing good things to bad things. So you're doing bad things.
Very good. So that's a good way of putting it, to cross the line, to kind of go beyond where you should. All right, so transgressions. And now another very serious problem in the world is poaching. And that's one of the things that they said they should control, poaching.
All right, you might have heard this word in a different context because it does have another meaning, but I'm just going to explain the one meaning here that we're talking about, which is killing animals, especially for sport or for selling their skins and their furs.
Right, so that's poaching. What's the difference between poaching and hunting?
Hunting can be legal, poaching is illegal.
Okay, so that's the main difference. Hunting is usually for sport. You hunt either for food or for sport, right? Legal hunting. But poaching is usually you want to sell, like you said, the fur or the skins or something.
Or the tusks on rhinos or something like that.
Exactly. All right, so poaching. And then they talked about synthetic products. So what is a synthetic product?
Well, synthetic product is something that is man-made. So it's not natural in that it doesn't come from the earth. Cotton is a natural product, and plastic, for example, is synthetic. Or another example.
Nylon.
Nylon is a really good synthetic product. And so people who don't want to use animal products, like wool or leather, they prefer to use synthetic products.
And I think maybe you've heard this in clothing. It's called synthetic fibers, right? Like nylon or polyester.
Exactly.
These are all the words that we have for language takeaway today. So why don't we move on now to a couple of very interesting phrases that we saw in the dialogue now in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
Okay, this first phrase is, it's a common one, but it's definitely not used in very happy circumstances. We say that something or someone is at the mercy of someone else.
Okay, so animals are at the mercy of human beings.
What does this mean exactly, mercy?
So basically, it means that the animals, in this case, don't have control of what's going on. So human beings are the ones that control everything. So if I decide to kill them, then they are at my mercy, at my will, at my whim.
Exactly. And so you could say, I'm at your mercy, Marco. Please just help me out with this. It's like you're the one in control. You're the one who can help the situation. Will you help?
Exactly. I'm at the mercy of someone. And then they were talking and debating this thing, and an interesting comparison came up. You can't compare apples and oranges.
All right, you're going to hear this all the time in English. It's not just a funny little phrase that the person uses. It's a very common idiom. And so we say, it's like apples and oranges, or you can't compare apples and oranges. And this is essentially saying these are two different things.
Completely different.
Completely different. So I can't compare him and her because it's apples and oranges. They're two different things, two different people.
Right. Because that's what in the movie you said they were like peas and carrots.
They just go together
They go
well.
together. Does that make sense?
Not really. Forrest Gump was a little bit strange like that. But I think the meaning is that if I say that's a big apple and I say that's a small apple, they're all apples, so I can compare them. But I say this is a really big orange and that's a really big apple. Well, they're different.
Yeah.
You just can't compare them.
All right, and towards the end, the person said that you're doing your part. You're doing your part.
Yeah. So this is a hard one to understand sometimes because it's not like a part in a play. It's more like a part in society. You're helping make society or culture or civilization better.
So you're contributing.
Exactly.
So, for example, what would be an example of a person doing their part towards society?
Well, for example, I don't own a car. I ride my bike, and it's my way of doing my part to help the environment.
Okay, very good.
Because I can't buy a factory that's, very green, or I can't do all these things to change the world. So I'm going to do small things those are my way of doing my part.
Okay. So like another example would be recycling. That's doing your part.
Exactly.
Or in this case, the person bought only synthetic products, nothing made from nature. All right, very good. So very interesting phrases. Why don't we listen to our dialogue for the last time, and then we'll be right back.
You should have seen the TV show that was on last night. The topic it covered was really interesting. Animal rights.
Do you really believe in that? If they're going to focus on something, they should do it on civil rights.
Yes, but we can't deny that animals are vulnerable, defenseless, and are completely at the mercy of human beings.
I understand your point, but we continue to have transgressions against human rights. If so much attention weren't devoted to the topic of animals, we would then concentrate more on saving a human being instead of protecting a koala.
You can't compare apples and oranges. I believe that both topics are important, and that we can't ignore them. The mistreatment of animals can cause a great environmental imbalance. I believe that governments should prohibit activities like poaching.
Well, you are right on that point. This is the reason that I don't buy leather, and I try to buy synthetic products.
At least you're doing your part. My contribution is to have a pet in the house that I treat like a member of the family.
As long as you don't treat it better than your wife, it's fine.
All right, so a debatable topic, animals and animal rights. What do you think?
Well, I'll say this. I would be a hypocrite if I said that it's bad to hurt animals because I'm a meat eater. I like to eat meat and I like to wear leather. But I do think it's bad to mistreat animals. So I try to buy free-range chicken or meat from places I know that treat the animals well. And I definitely disagree with poaching and with using animals, especially endangered animals, for money and cash purposes. And so that's my position. But what's yours? I mean, I know you eat meat too.
No, yeah, of course. And I think even though protection of animals is a very important topic, and you don't want the mistreatment of these little creatures that are very vulnerable to us, because we're smarter than them in the end. But I think also it has to do a lot with superstition sometimes, and kind of mystical and magical things. For example, people killing rhinos because they believe that the rhino horn has amazing curing properties, or the same thing with elephant tusks and stuff like that. So it also it involves this certain aspect that people almost don't know any better. They truly believe that these things actually work, or that they will help them. So they don't consider the like in the dialogue said, the imbalance that they create in the environment, or the consequences.
Or there might be some very serious evolutionary consequences that we cannot even imagine. And so, things change kind of over time, sometimes quickly and sometimes slowly. But if we force change really quickly, who knows what the results are going to be? It might be really negative for us.
Exactly, and that's what we want to know now. What do you think about these topics? Because in the end, the environment, animals, they're all connected. If you wipe out all the foxes in a forest, then you're gonna have you're gonna have too many snakes running around, right?
Yeah.
So, what do you think? Come to EnglishPod.com, and you can leave all your questions, comments, or suggestions, and we're always there to help out.
So we hope to see you there, and until next time, everyone, goodbye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. The rights people have.
Civil rights.
Capable of being decomposed by natural means.
Biodegradable.
Easily hurt or harmed.
Vulnerable.
A prolonged period of time during which no rain falls.
Drought.
Defenseless.
Defenseless.
A severe shortage of food.
Famine.
In a position where you can be harmed.
At the mercy of.
The part of the Earth's surface and atmosphere inhabited by living things.
Biosphere.
Something that is not allowed.
Transgression.
A general term for the research activity that creates a copy of some biological entity.
Cloning.
An unfair comparison of two different things.
Apples and oranges.
To illegally hunt protected animals.
Poach.
Not natural.
Synthetic.
To help accomplish a goal.
Do your part.
Let's try that faster. The rights people have.
Civil rights.
The part of the Earth's surface and atmosphere inhabited by living things.
Biosphere.
Something that is not allowed.
Transgression.
Easily hurt or harmed.
Vulnerable.
An unfair comparison of two different things.
Apples and oranges.
In a position where you can be harmed.
At the mercy of.
To illegally hunt protected animals.
Poach.
Defenseless.
Defenseless.
A severe shortage of food.
Famine.
Capable of being decomposed by natural means.
Biodegradable.
Not natural.
Synthetic.
A general term for the research activity that creates a copy of some biological entity.
Cloning.
To help accomplish a goal.
Do your part.
A prolonged period of time during which no rain falls.
Drought.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Vulnerable. The wound is vulnerable to infection. Vulnerable. A dry forest is vulnerable to fires. Vulnerable. The spawning salmon is vulnerable to predators. At the mercy of. The city is at the mercy of the forest fire. At the mercy of. The lost sailors were at the mercy of the vast ocean that lay ahead of them. At the mercy of. Our city is at the mercy of criminals and gangsters. Something must be done. Transgression. All transgressions of the law will be severely punished. Transgression. She was guilty of the worst moral transgression. Transgression. There are legal consequences for those that transgress the law. Apples and oranges. You can't compare Batman and Superman. It's like apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. The two operating systems are so different. They're like apples and oranges. Apples and oranges. You can't compare those two authors. It's like comparing apples to oranges. Do your part. Do your part. Don't litter. Do your part. Your wife looks so tired. You haven't been doing your part around the house. Do your part. Do your part to prevent climate change and try riding your bike to work.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine. And today, Marco, you and I are talking about movies, right?
We're talking a little bit about movies, but mostly we're having a big argument.
Okay, I kind of like arguments. Lots of great words and phrases for you to learn here in English. But we've got an upper intermediate level lesson with some people who are not getting along very well. So
it's a couple, a guy and a girl, and they're having a fight, as couples do. So we're going to be learning a lot of the different language that they are using in this very heated debate. So let's listen to this dialogue for the first time, and then we'll be right back.
Wow, that terrible movie is finally over. Next time I'm picking the film because I don't want to end up seeing a chick flick.
well, you should have picked. In the end, you always complain about everything.
Not everything, just this film. Even the title is ridiculous, and it's so long. Those are the 2.5 most wasted hours of my life. So much so that I'm thinking about asking them to give me my money back.
I'm thinking of taking you back home. I thought we could have a nice evening, but you're always so negative.
I'm only complaining about a movie that I could have rented or bought and then thrown in the garbage.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. I can't stand your sarcastic jokes anymore.
Next time, go with your gay friend who's more in touch with his feelings.
Well, he's more of a man than you are. At least he appreciates love stories.
Love stories? More like one-night stands.
Don't criticize Mario, or else I'll start on those fat drunk friends of yours. They're no saints.
My friends? Fat? What about those whales you call friends?
You're unbearable. You can walk home. I'm leaving.
Fine.
I think the guy was exaggerating a little bit. What do you think?
I think they were both exaggerating. You know, by the end of an argument, both people are saying things that maybe they don't mean.
I think we'll talk a little bit more about this towards the end of the show, but now why don't we take a look at language takeaway?
Language takeaway.
All right, on language takeaway today we have 4 words, and the first one that you probably saw in the very first sentence is chick flick.
Chick flick. So first of all, the word chick means a woman. It's slang, and it's not very nice.
It's not very nice.
No.
Well, I mean, between guys, you would use it as like, oh, this chick or that chick, but you wouldn't really walk up to a girl and call her a chick, right?
No, you wouldn't say, hey, chick, what's up? That's not something you want to say. So chick is a slang word for a girl or a woman, and a chick flick is a girl's movie.
So a flick is a movie,
Yeah.
another slang word.
Exactly. So this is the slang phrase for flick. So, hey, Marco, what flicks are showing at the movie theater?
All right.
Yeah.
So movies. So, and a chick flick is usually a romantic movie, a drama, something that's very...
Like Beaches. Beaches is a chick flick. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
I've never seen it.
Also, He's Just Not That Into You is one of those new chick flicks.
Or like How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. Or The Devil Wears Prada.
Bride Wars.
Bride Wars. Wow, lots of chick
I've
flicks.
actually never seen any one of these except How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. I've actually only seen that one.
All right, so chick flick is a girl's or women's movie. And next up we have a word, sarcastic. We're talking about sarcastic jokes.
So sarcastic jokes or somebody being sarcastic.
God, Marco, you're always so sarcastic.
So what would sarcasm sound like?
Yeah, he's really funny.
All right, so it's not really what you're saying, it's kind of how you're saying it.
Right, so it's kind of like by saying, he's really funny. You're saying, yeah, he's a funny guy. But if I say, ugh, he's really funny, I'm saying, he's not funny, he's being mean, or
Yeah, he's a jerk.
He's a jerk.
Sarcasm is kind of one of those things that it's a little bit difficult to learn how to do or to actually get it right, especially in English, right?
Yeah, Marco, great explanation.
Exactly, that's the way it goes.
Oh, yeah, you're so funny.
So,
Wow.
you're amazing. You should go to, you went to sarcasm school.
So my
You
parents
can be
like to
really
say-
mean, Catherine.
Sorry, just kidding.
All right, so apart from being sarcastic, you can criticize someone.
Like you're ever critical.
All right.
Sorry, I'll
Wow.
stop.
You're
All right.
really into character right now.
All right, so critical. To criticize someone is to complain about them or to say that the things that they do are not very good.
So you can criticize a person or a movie.
Yeah, so this movie wasn't very good. It wasn't funny. The actors were bad. It was really long. These are criticisms.
Criticisms. All right. Well, and then moving on, the girl was finally tired of the guy and his complaints, and she said he's unbearable.
Gosh, you're unbearable. So the root of this word is to be able to to stand something, to bear it. And so if you're unbearable, something is unbearable, you just can't stand it.
All right. So you're tired of it. You can't stand it.
She thinks he's so unbearable, she makes him get out of the car.
And she leaves.
Yeah, she says, you can walk home.
All right. So that's an unbearable person, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we took a look at those 4 main words here in our dialogue. Let's move on now to some of the phrases that we found in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
This first one's a common one, especially when we talk about women and men and the relationship between women and men. We say about men that maybe they should be more in touch with their feelings or their feminine side. Yeah.
Okay, so if you're saying to be more in touch with your feminine side, what exactly are you saying?
It's a good question. Well, what you're saying is that you want to be able to express your feelings more, or you want to be able to understand more about your feminine side or something like this. So to be in touch with is more about yourself. It's about self-reflection and self-understanding. So you could say, I'm a very serious person, but I want to make some changes in my life. So I'm trying to be more in touch with my inner child.
Your inner child. All right. So to be in touch with, and it's usually related to feelings, to something intangible,
Or
right?
to behavior. Yeah.
To behavior. All right. Moving on now, a heated phrase, a one-night stand.
Oh, I'll let you explain this one, Marco.
All right. So a one-night stand is a casual and very quick temporal encounter that's usually a sexual encounter.
It's romantic, right? So
Romantic.
it can be between two different people. They meet each other one night. They have a relationship for one night only, and then they never see each other again. So it's casual.
It's casual, very good. So yeah, you would see this. You see this a lot in shows like Sex in the City and all
Yeah,
that
they have
stuff.
a lot of one night stands in that show.
All right, so a one night stand. And well, related to this, the girl was criticizing his friends, and she said they're no saints.
Okay, so you could say this in many different ways. He's no saint. She's no saint. Or I'm no saint.
You're no saint.
So a saint is a good person. It's a word that we use in religion to say someone who's like Mother Teresa, or someone who's just really good and kind and
Doesn't commit any sins.
Exactly. And so to say I'm no saint is to say, well, I do bad things, or I say bad things. I'm not perfect. Okay. So he or they're no saints. They do bad stuff too.
Yeah, very good. So that's the way that you would use he's no saint, they're no saints. All right, so I think now we should listen to our dialogue for the last time, and we'll be right back.
Wow, that terrible movie is finally over. Next time I'm picking the film because I don't want to end up seeing a chick flick.
Well, you should have picked. In the end, you always complain about everything.
Not everything, just this film. Even the title is ridiculous, and it's so long. Those are the 2.5 most wasted hours of my life. So much so that I'm thinking about asking them to give me my money back.
I'm thinking of taking you back home. I thought we could have a nice evening, but you're always so negative.
I'm only complaining about a movie that I could have rented or bought and then thrown in the garbage.
You see? That's what I'm talking about. I can't stand your sarcastic jokes anymore.
Next time, go with your gay friend who's more in touch with his feelings.
Well, he's more of a man than you are. At least he appreciates love stories.
Love stories? More like one-night stands.
Don't criticize Mario, or else I'll start on those fat drunk friends of yours. They're no saints.
My friends? Fat? What about those whales you call friends?
You're unbearable. You can walk home. I'm leaving.
Fine.
All right, so Catherine, is this an argument that you would say is typical among couples? Or maybe people that are probably about to break up, right?
Not couples that are happy, I would say. But yeah, you definitely have people who are, well, I guess it's kind of the battle of the sexes, right? You have people who are different genders, and so they don't always understand each other. You want to have your girlfriends as a girl, and your girlfriends behave and talk in a certain way together, and guys do the same thing, but with their friends. And so sometimes you have these clashes, these interactions that are negative, and when people are upset with each other, they say mean things.
And especially, I think in this case, they don't really like each other's friends.
Exactly.
And that's a kind of a common thing. Like a guy doesn't like his girlfriend's friends because maybe they gossip too much or something
Yeah.
like that. And the same thing with the girls, right? Because a guy's friends maybe drink too much.
Play too many card games.
They're single.
So I think a lot of times these problems also have to do with the fact that, like, when a girl is with her girlfriends, she maybe acts differently, or when a guy's with his guy friends, and so that's weird sometimes for the relationship because you see your partner acting differently with other people. So.
Right.
Do you like your boyfriend or girlfriend's friends? Do you get in fights about this kind of stuff?
Or you know what? The in-laws.
Ooh, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother situation.
That's a whole other situation.
Absolutely.
All right, so we want to hear from you. And also, if you have any questions or comments, suggestions, come to EnglishPod.com and you can leave it on our lessons page, or you can email us at EnglishPod@praxislanguage.com.
We hope to see you on the website in the near future. Please get in touch with us. That's all for today. So bye-bye.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A film that appeals to women.
Chick flick.
The use of words to show irritation.
Sarcastic.
To be in close contact with.
In touch with.
A random and temporary romantic encounter.
One night stand.
To express disapproval.
Criticize.
Too bad to be accepted or endured.
Unbearable.
Let's try that faster. To be in close contact with.
In touch with.
To express disapproval.
Criticize.
A film that appeals to women.
Chick flick.
The use of words to show irritation.
Sarcastic.
A random and temporary romantic encounter.
One night stand.
Too bad to be accepted or endured.
Unbearable.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Chick flick. My girlfriend dragged me to go see another chick flick. Chick flick. This channel only shows chick flicks. Chick flick. The chick flick genre enjoyed great success a few years ago. I can't stand the weather here. It's too hot. She told me she can't stand me, and then she left. Now I'm all alone. Turn that music down. I can't stand country western. Sarcastic. Don't be so sarcastic because it's really obnoxious. Sarcastic. Thank you for the wonderful service, the customer said sarcastically. Sarcastic. Many performers use sarcasm for comedic effect. In touch with. Let's see this chick flick and get in touch with our feminine side. In touch with. He's just more in touch with his feelings, but he's not gay. In touch with. Please remember to write and stay in touch. Unbearable. I couldn't stand the flight attendant's unbearable politeness. Unbearable. The summers here are unbearable because of the heat. Unbearable. This music is unbearable. Turn it down.
Hello, English learners. Welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And my name is Catherine, and today we're talking about something very, very important in the computer age.
Internet
and internet connections.
Right. I think, well, so many people use the internet now and have it, but it's sometimes a little bit complicated to maybe get a plan, or maybe if you're not too familiar with the terms, that's what we're going to be looking at today.
So listen out for some of these words today. We're talking on the phone with someone who's going to help us get a plan. When we come back, we'll be talking all about what some of these words and phrases mean. So if you're confused, just wait a couple seconds and we'll be back.
Welcome to Galanet. How can I help you?
Hi, I would like to get an internet plan for my house.
Of course. We have 3 different plans with different prices you can choose from. The first one is the cheapest, but most basic plan, which is $30 a month. This is for broadband internet, with a download speed of 512 kbps.
I have no idea what kbps means. I just want to be able to get online, play games, and chat with my friends. Oh, and watch movies online as well.
Well, this connection might be a bit too slow for your needs. I suggest you get the premium package for $50 a month, which includes a connection speed of 2 megabytes. That way, you can play games online without any lag. This package also includes a wireless router and a personal firewall, absolutely free.
Do I have to pay an installation fee?
Lucky for you, this month we aren't charging our normal installation fee. You are saving yourself $100 right there. And we'll throw in this pen drive.
Awesome!
All right, so interesting. A lot of these technical terms specifically for internet and computers and connection and all that stuff.
Yeah, and the nice thing about some of these words is that they can be used in other ways as well. So we've been learning about these and expanding our vocabularies, but they're useful in many other contexts as well.
Okay, so let's get started with these words now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
So this first phrase, for example, is something that you see advertised all the time, and it's a kind of internet connection.
Broadband internet.
Okay, so internet is pretty clear, but broadband, you might be asking, what the heck can this mean?
Okay, so you have broad.
So broad means wide.
Wide, and a band is basically kind of like a frequency at which something works.
Like bandwidth.
Bandwidth, So you have broadband, you have fast or high-speed internet.
That means the bigger the space is, the more information can be transferred. So it's a fast connection, essentially.
Exactly. Before broadband, we had dial-up internet. Yeah.
Remember AOL?
Yeah, exactly. So
It was so slow.
You had to use your modem and call a number and then get connected by telephone. So it was a dial-up connection, but it was so slow.
And every time it broke, the connection would break. You had to dial up again and go through the whole process. It was so annoying.
Exactly. So fortunately now not many people use dial-up anymore, and we have broadband internet. Now that if you have broadband internet, it's really convenient because you can download any type of application or music, videos, etc.
Right. So this is another key computer word that actually has a couple of different uses. For example, as you said, you can download music or download photos. That means you find a photo on the internet that you like, and you could save it on your computer. But you can also have a download, so it can be a thing too.
Okay, so if maybe you're downloading 3 different files, you have 3 downloads.
Okay, so to download and download.
Very good. So now in internet, you have different speeds, as we talked about, right? How fast you're downloading something. And the guy mentioned 512 kbps.
Oh no, not another one of these kbps. So this one's pretty simple. You can think about kilobytes. You've heard about megabytes, kilobytes. This is a size.
How fast you can receive these packets of information. So 512 kilobytes per second.
Per second, I have no idea how much that is. It's maybe a lot. It sounds like a lot.
Right. Well, basically, it is a lot, but we saw later that he was asking for a connection speed of 2 megabytes.
Ooh, so mega is bigger than kbps, right?
Right.
All right. So these are different speeds of transferring information, right? So this is a way for you to see what kind of internet plan you want.
Exactly. And so you have kilobytes, we have megabytes, and basically you want a faster connection speed because you want to avoid lag.
Ooh, lag. All right. This is a word that you can use in a lot of different ways. For example, my brother always lags behind. Okay, so it's a verb, but in this case we're talking about the noun. So lag is slowness.
Yeah, it's like a delay.
It's a delay in something. So in this case, I can't even play my video games because there's too much lag. So that means the internet's too slow.
It's too slow, exactly. So that's what happens when you have a slow connection speed, you have lag. And as you can say, it refers to something that's slow or delayed. So you can use it in other contexts when you want to say something is a little bit slow.
Well, and another key thing here, as we're talking about internet connections, is the router. So router is something that helps us to route an internet connection. So, for example,
So it basically distributes the internet connection to different computers or to different users.
and some of these you plug in, and some of them are wireless. That means without a wire. So a wireless router is something, a little box in your house that allows you to maybe have 3 or 4 computers on one broadband connection.
Right. So it's very popular now. You go to Starbucks and you have Wi-Fi. In order to have Wi-Fi or wireless internet, you need a router, a wireless router.
Okay, so wireless router. And finally, what is something that might get in the way of a connection?
You have a firewall. Very important security measure when navigating the internet.
All right, so a personal firewall is a firewall that you have on your computer to keep people from spying on you. This keeps other people out.
So it's exactly that. It's a wall between your computer and the outside world. So it protects you from any type of maybe malicious intruders.
Right, and oftentimes governments and public offices, things like that, law offices, they have firewalls to protect the information that they store because it's so important that it's secretive.
Yeah. So firewalls, there are many different types of firewalls, but a personal firewall is just a basic one.
Great, so that is our language takeaway for today. Let's check out this dialogue again and slow it down a bit this time.
Welcome to Galanet. How can I help you?
Hi, I would like to get an internet plan for my house.
Of course. We have 3 different plans with different prices you can choose from. The first one is the cheapest, but most basic plan, which is $30 a month. This is for broadband internet with a download speed of 512 kbps.
I have no idea what kbps means. I just want to be able to get online, play games, and chat with my friends. Oh, and watch movies online as well.
Well, this connection might be a bit too slow for your needs. I suggest you get the premium package for $50 a month, which includes a connection speed of 2 megabytes. That way, you can play games online without any lag. This package also includes a wireless router and a personal firewall, absolutely free.
Do I have to pay an installation fee?
Lucky for you, this month we aren't charging our normal installation fee. You are saving yourself $100 right there, and we'll throw in this pen drive.
Awesome!
All right, great. So we just heard all these words that we looked at before, but now why don't we take a look at some of these phrases in Fluency Builder.
Fluency Builder.
What's this first one? I can't read it.
I have no idea.
What? Well, didn't you write it down?
I have no
on,
idea
Marco.
what you're talking about.
All right, enough games. No, I have no idea. This is we're going to treat this as a phrase that gets said as is. We're not going to take bits and pieces of it. So I have no idea, or he has no idea, is a way to say, listen,
I don't know.
I don't know. I really don't know.
Right. The guy was talking about KBPS and all these things, and the other guy was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't understand.
And I can definitely empathize.
You can relate.
Yeah. Well, we'll leave that for another one. But after this, we've got bucks. All right. So bucks. What is this slang?
Bucks. $100. $200.
A lot of money.
Right. So bucks is basically another way of saying dollars.
All right. So this is a way this is a way that most Americans talk about money. It's $1 is $1. All right. So could I borrow $10, Marco?
Right. So yeah, sure. Here you go.
Cool.
Now, bucks, you can only use it for American currency, right? You can't use it for like euros or...
No.
You can't say like 10 euros would be $10. Right?
No. Usually you say this about American dollars, and you say this just when you're hanging out, or how much does this cost? Oh, $5. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very good. So the guy was telling him about the price of the internet and everything, and he said that he's going to throw in a pen drive, right?
He's going to throw it?
He's going to throw it at him. No, he's going to throw in a pen drive for free.
Oh, sweet. So throw in means to add.
Or include.
Include. So listen, sir, here's your large popcorn, and I'm going to throw in a small Diet Coke for free.
Wow.
How generous of me.
So you throw in something, you include it for free, right?
Exactly. So this is usually a complimentary item.
Great. I think this word is really interesting, or this phrase. So why don't we listen to a couple of other examples using throw in?
Example 1.
If you buy 2 pizzas, we will throw in another one for free.
Example 2. Tell you what, I'll buy this computer if you throw in a pair of headphones. Deal? Example 3.
The salesman threw in a subscription to the local newspaper for buying his product. Isn't that great?
All right, great. So good examples. I think it's clear now, the phrases, all these words related to the internet.
Absolutely, and so useful.
Right, so why don't we listen to this dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Welcome to Galanet. How can I help you?
Hi, I would like to get an internet plan for my house.
Of course. We have 3 different plans with different prices you can choose from. The first one is the cheapest, but most basic plan, which is $30 a month. This is for broadband internet, with a download speed of 512 kbps.
I have no idea what kbps means. I just want to be able to get online, play games, and chat with my friends. Oh, and watch movies online as well.
Well, this connection might be a bit too slow for your needs. I suggest you get the premium package for $50 a month, which includes a connection speed of 2 megabytes. That way, you can play games online without any lag. This package also includes a wireless router and a personal firewall, absolutely free.
Do I have to pay an installation fee?
Lucky for you, this month we aren't charging our normal installation fee. You are saving yourself $100 right there, and we'll throw in this pen drive.
Awesome!
So the internet, it's a big deal nowadays, and now you can do so much on it. Not only navigate websites anymore, but watch movies, download applications, photos, Facebook, all this type of things now that you can do on the internet.
You can even do it from your phone, like when you're in the bathroom or on the train. I mean, it's scary. We're always connected.
Right. So it's interesting. You're always connected. You're always online with people, and it's actually very noticeable when you maybe live somewhere else. Before, you used to have to write letters. I don't think many people receive handwritten letters anymore.
Never. I'm speaking for myself. I never receive, and I don't write them either. So
yeah.
I guess I'm guilty of it.
So now people just send emails. Obviously, it's more convenient, but maybe it's a little bit less significant, maybe, than actually going to the post office or taking the time to write a letter, going to the post office and stuff.
Well, I don't know. There's something nice about having a physical thing you can hold on to, but I wonder if one day we're going to forget how to write.
Yeah.
You know, like write with a pen.
With a pen and pencil, exactly.
We're going to have these little PDAs and these little iPhones, and they're going to talk, and they're going to take everything down in note form for you.
Well, now it's kind of happening with the Kindle, right? Now you can have books on this electronic device that lets you read through them, and
you can carry 100 books with you to the beach.
So now you don't even really need physical books anymore, which is good on some level, because you're saving trees and space and all that stuff. But
there's something, I don't know, physical about reading a book. You hold it, you flip the pages, you know how many pages you have left. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll be a convert one day, but for now, I'm good with paper books.
All right. So, what do you guys think about the internet? about electronic books.
You can also tell us any problems or confusion you have with the things that we talked about today. Hopefully everything is clear, but if not, we are here to answer your questions. We like to do so. So check out our website, englishpod.com.
All right, we'll see you guys there. And until next time.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye. The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. A fast internet connection.
Broadband internet.
A device that allows data to be transferred between individual computers and networks.
Modem.
Act of transferring data between computers.
Download.
Form of broadband internet service delivered over telephone network, relatively slow.
Digital subscriber line.
Form of broadband internet service delivered over cable television network, relatively fast.
Cable internet.
Over the internet.
Online.
An individual's necessary requirements.
Someone's needs.
Software which detects harmful viruses on a computer.
Antivirus software.
A delay.
Lag.
Not using wires to send and receive data.
Wireless.
Device used to protect a computer against intruders.
Firewall.
Process of making ready for use.
Installation.
To offer for free.
Throw in.
Let's try that faster. Form of broadband internet service delivered over telephone network, relatively slow.
Digital subscriber line.
A device that allows data to be transferred between individual computers and networks.
Modem.
A delay.
Lag.
Not using wires to send and receive data.
Wireless.
Over the internet.
Online.
Process of making ready for use.
Installation.
Device used to protect a computer against intruders.
Firewall.
Form of broadband internet service delivered over cable television network, relatively fast.
Cable internet.
Software which detects harmful viruses on a computer.
Antivirus software.
Act of transferring data between computers.
Download.
To offer for free.
Throw in.
A fast internet connection.
Broadband internet.
An individual's necessary requirements.
Someone's needs.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Download. Now that I have broadband internet, I can download music and videos for free. Download. This website has a lot of free software that you can download. Download. That's a big file you are trying to download. It might take up to 3 hours to complete. Someone's needs. This software is designed to meet all your needs. Someone's needs. You don't take into consideration my needs when making these decisions. Someone's needs. To understand the needs of your children, you should talk to them regularly. Wireless. Our office is installing a new wireless network so that we can use our laptops and smartphones. Wireless. I love the fact that the PS3 has a wireless controller. It's much more convenient. Wireless. My new sound system comes with a pair of wireless speakers. Now I can play music anywhere in the house. Firewall. We have a firewall at the office which prevents us from accessing sites such as Facebook and MySpace. Firewall. It's important to have a good firewall set up to prevent unauthorized access to your network. Firewall. I always turn off my firewall because it prevents me from opening certain websites. Throw in. If you buy 2 pizzas, we will throw in another one for free. Throw in. Tell you what, I'll buy this computer if you throw in a pair of headphones. Deal? Throw in. The salesman threw in a subscription to the local newspaper for buying his product. Isn't that great?